Okay, I'm just going to start over in case you couldn't hear me. Welcome to the Indivisible Youth May Day Rally. My name is Milana Schreiber, and I'm a senior at Amador, as you probably already heard, and I'll be the MC today. Before we get started, I just want to emphasize that this is a non-violent demonstration. A commitment to non-violence ensures that everyone here is safe, and it encourages outside support. If any counter-protesters or agitators approach you, do not take the bait, remain calm, and distance yourself if you need to. We have amazing peacekeepers here from Indivisible Tri-Valley wearing the bright vests, and they're awesome, and they can help you out with anything safety or peace related. And on the note of safety, we have a first aid table right over there with waters and medical attention if you need. And back to May Day. What is May Day? What are we doing here? For those of you who don't know, May Day is also known as International Workers' Day. It started in the 1880s and has lasted until now, showing support for labor unions and workers' rights. Today, we demand that our country put workers first, expand democracy, and expand rights for everybody. We are fighting for no ICE, no war, and no kings. We believe in people over billionaires. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker. Greta is a senior at Livermore High and a youth activist passionate about giving voice to the unheard. She is one of the founders of Indivisible Youth and an active member in Indivisible Tri-Valley and Youth Power Climate Action. This fall, she will be studying political science at Occidental College, continuing her mission to empower young people and drive change.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greta Fitzgerald, and I just wanted to start off by thanking everyone for coming out. It's really inspiring to see community gather and be here ready to make a difference and make a change. May Day, as you heard, is an International Workers' Day that began about 140 years ago as a fight for workers' rights, fair hours, fair pay, and just respect for workers. The movement was born from the courage of workers who demanded justice in the face of oppression. Their spirit of resistance still guides us today. You may be wondering, why does May Day involve us, especially as youth? Well, it's because we're living in a state of political unrest. We are seeing our democracy under threat, with powerful voices trying to silence and divide our communities. We see families being torn apart by unjust immigration laws enforced by ICE, and we see the richest few hoarding more than ever while people are struggling to buy food and survive. That's why this rally is about 3 demands. First, we believe in ICE out because no family in America should be torn apart. Second, we believe in taxing the rich because people shouldn't have to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And finally, we believe in defending democracy. Our future depends on a government that listens to the people, not just the powerful. May Day reminds us that change comes when we stand united, and together, I believe we can build a future that we deserve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greta. Now I would like to welcome a very special guest, Senator Dr. Aisha Wahab, the California State Senator for District 10. She advocates for affordable housing, education, civil rights, and much more. Welcome, Dr. Wahab.
Thank you, guys. My name is Aisha Wahab. I represent in the State Senate, the East Bay and the South Bay, and I just want to thank every organizer here, and more specifically, the youth. So please give a hands up to the youth. You know, the reality is this, that our young people are really the ones that kind of move us in the right direction. They sometimes see things far better than us, and they have a brighter vision to it. And here's the reality. We're here for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's May Day, right? And what does that mean? That means that we are supposed to be protecting our workers, supporting our workers, and making sure that everyone lives a dignified life. And on top of that, we are here to talk a little bit about what is happening at FCI Dublin, right? And the whole conversation there. And I want to just announce this just for reference. We would like everyone to be able to give public comment on the environmental assessment to stop the reopening of FCI Dublin as an ICE detention facility. Now, and this is incredibly important. So a couple of years ago, I spoke at a Families Belong Together rally, right? And we have seen this over and over and over again. I have said so many times that the biggest divide in this country is not the left and the right, it's top and bottom. And we are always seeing that they are pointing to your neighbor, to somebody that looks different than you, speaks a different language, prays differently, has a different background in education, and so much more. And the reality is, our neighbors are not our enemies. And when we talk about people who are documented and undocumented in this district, we have such a wide variety of different immigration statuses. And it is not fair to say that, hey, these people should suffer. And I will give you an example. Some of us are seeing layoffs happen in this district, right? And if you guys have ever gone through the Great Recession like I have, it's very hard to find a job when you're laid off for at least 2 months, 3 months, maybe even longer, maybe shorter. If you have an H-1B visa and you just got laid off, they will only give you 60 days to find another job with the business sponsoring you. Do you know how hard that is? And within those 60 days, you are considered undocumented and violating the law, right? And so hitting these detention camps, right, is not what we want to see. And I've actually gone to some of the detention facilities out in Texas, okay? They have ankle monitors on everybody. They have little children, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds in these facilities. That's a makeshift jail, okay? Not only that, but they have porta potties. And those when you go to a carnival and you're washing your hand on like some plastic thing where you step on it, that is how people are taking showers. This is not humane, this is not dignified, and in this country we treat everyone with respect and everyone deserves due process. And the example that I will give you all is that when a kid is brought to this country undocumented, right? No choice of their own, they don't even know what's going on. They're a little kid, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, right? They are placed in front of an immigration judge to defend themselves, a 2 or 3-year-old. They have no concept of what's going on. They don't understand the legal system. They barely know how to survive on their own. And the state of California, I'm very proud of this, we put in $10 million to say that every kid that is under the age of 18 that has to actually represent themselves is going to be given a lawyer and a social worker, because that is dignified and just. And so when we talk about California being the 4th largest economy and Americans being the leaders in the world and so much more, the only reason why we can potentially even say that is if we treat everybody with dignity, if we treat everyone with respect. And I have said this time and time again, if they have money for wars, they have enough to feed the poor. And that's the reality of what we're facing. So I really commend all of you guys for being here. I really want to highlight the fact that workers' rights are human rights, women's rights are human rights. Every single one of us deserves some level of respect, including our neighbors that are undocumented and have different statuses. And because of you all, if you guys take a look around, all of you guys come from different backgrounds and different ethnicities and different family, socioeconomic statuses. You guys are here as allies to each other. And that is the beauty of this nation. So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wahab. Our final speaker will be Freya, a policy researcher and activist from Livermore High. Through her internship with the U.S. Congress, research at the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, and her punk zine feedback loop, she translates complex policy into accessible formats for fellow organizers and works to amplify youth voices in legislative spaces. Currently, Freya works as a communications lead for Fossil Free California, advocating for advancements in statewide climate policy and for institutional divestment from the fossil fuel industry. Welcome, Freya.
Hi everyone. I'm really excited to be talking to y'all today because the midterms are coming up and I turned 18 about 10 days ago. Becoming an adult, though I don't really feel like it yet, has prompted me to reflect on some of the stories that we were told when we were kids. We grew up on stories about heroes. Little boys and girls read comic books and watched movies about Captain America punching Nazis, rebels blowing up Death Stars, and chosen ones who figured out mid-third act that they had the power within them all along. Now fascism knocks at America's door, and those same boys and girls make nice with hate and trade their capes for masks and uniforms. They tell themselves that that's what heroism looks like. How do the little girls who grew up listening to princesses sing songs, saccharine songs of equality, blindly hate their black and brown sisters? We must take our idealized notions of what is good and righteous and beautiful and put them into action. We've known the story since we were children. We were taught that neutrality was complicity, and the hero is not the one who feels righteous, but the one who acts. And yet somewhere between the comic book, the movie, and the ballot box, we forgot. Civic engagement, admittedly, is not particularly epic. There is no cape in showing up to a city council meeting, no slow motion soundtrack for registration drives. But it's what the story looks like in real life. May Day is a holiday of heroes. It exists because workers that decided that dying quietly was no longer something they were willing to do. That they weren't willing to be exploited for the work they do to build this country and not even be afforded a fraction of what it has to offer. And every authoritarian government in history has depended on that same thing, that regular people will look at what's happening and decide that it isn't their problem to solve, that they aren't the heroes of the story. But we're here because we disagree. And what will we do with that disagreement? We can learn how to read a bill and contact the people who vote on it. I know that sounds aggressively unglamorous, but loopholes like Water's Edge or bills like Make Polluters Pay are the ones that aren't abstract political concepts. There are specific things with bill numbers and specific people voting on them. And those people have phone numbers and email inboxes, and a short, direct email from a constituent can land. If you want to go even further, phone banking is one of the highest impact things a young person without a vote can do. If anyone wants to learn how they can phone bank for the upcoming midterm elections, feel free to come up to me and give me your contact information. On that note, if you're not 18 yet, you're not off the hook. And if you are 18, you're especially not off the hook. Political science research indicates that when 3.5% of a population engages in sustained nonviolent action, it has never failed to create political change. Never. The power is still with the people, so it's our job to participate before it no longer is. So vote, phone bank, participate in city council meetings, and find bills to support. And as you move through life, remember to never treat empathy as a symptom of weakness. In an age of performative cruelty, any act of kindness is an act of rebellion. Our capacity to care for our neighbor and our willingness to fight for their right to the American dream are what makes us strong people. Those who choose to comply with or overlook the egregious misconduct of the United States government are not patriots, they're cowards. We can all choose to be heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Freya, and thank you to all of our wonderful speakers. Let's give them one more big round of applause. Before we wrap it up, Greta is going to lead us in some quick chants.
Okay, so if you guys give me the energy that I give you, this will be a whole lot better, okay? So when I say when immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Yes. Do you guys get it? Okay. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When democracy is Yes. Now, we'll just do Show Me What Democracy Looks Like. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Awesome. And then no hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you, Greta, and thank you all of you for being here. Our voices are truly powerful. It means a lot that you are all out here today. It is so important for us to speak up in times of injustice, and it is especially important for all of the youth here. All of the adults out here have been fighting for our futures, and now it is time for us to do the same. If this is your first rally, keep your momentum going and keep pushing for